When my daughter, Katie Jo, was 3.5 years old, she was diagnosed with a rare heart condition called isolated non-compaction of left ventricular myocardium.
So when I was 21 years old, I had a heart attack. I was on the college soccer team at St. Norbert College in De Pere.
My younger sister, right after she was born, had open heart surgery. And then a few years later, when she was 3, 4, and 5, she had a series of strokes, which were followed by 4 brain surgeries to correct. And then my youngest sister had an echocardiogram done for preventative measure, and they found a heart defect where the coronary arteries in her heart, the arteries were too close together.
So I actually had that mother's intuition that something was weird. I thought maybe something was wrong with her lungs.
And the first symptoms I felt was it felt like all the blood was draining from my face. I had this really weird feeling in my wrists. They were like asleep. I was also nauseous and I was really hot, but I was freezing. And then the biggest sign of all, which I was pretty much ignoring a little bit at the time, was I had this really weird pressure pain in my chest.
I'd say it was definitely scary. There's a lot of points in their lives and my lives that I didn't necessarily know what the outcome was going to be. I mean, hearing that your 3-year-old sister, 4-year-old sister, and 5, like all 3 of those ages, she had a stroke, I think was very unheard of.
It just blew my mind. I honestly never would have thought that that's what was causing all of the symptoms. I really thought I was having a panic attack or an anxiety attack. I was 21 years old. I was in the best shape of my life. And yet the doctors were telling me, look, you had a heart attack. Like, you need to kind of take it easy for a while.
Her cardiologist from Minneapolis called us and told us that she had 1 day to 5 years to live. And that just rocked our world. So when he called, he said that she had a really rare disorder and they didn't know a lot about it, and that there was no cure, that someday she'd have to have a transplant, but that's trading one disease for another. I was in that mom mode. We're going to tackle this. We're going to get things done. And then I hung up with her and went around the corner to try and find my husband. And I found him in my daughter's room, curled up next to her bed with her blankets. And he was a mess. And so we allowed ourselves some time to just try and wrap our brains around that.
I'm the older sister, so I have 2 younger sisters that I'm able to experience all of life's milestones with, that there has been a question multiple times if I would ever experience those with them, if I would ever have a future with them. And American Heart Association has made that possible. Looking at where my sister started, having to relearn to walk, talk, read, and the fact she made it to 18 and is wanting and set on going to college, has impacted me more than I've ever let her know.
And so, me being me, I contacted the American Heart Association and asked for pamphlets, resource materials, books. We tore everything apart. For the next 25 years, we went to doctor's appointments, and she had ups and she had downs, and super duper long story made very, very short. She's now a teacher in Iowa of middle schoolers with special needs, and still needs a heart transplant, and is doing the best she can with that ticker that she's been given. When I grow up, I want to be her. She's my hero.
It's important to note that 80% of cardiovascular disease can be prevented. I am one of the unlucky ones born with cardiovascular disease, but the fact that we start sharing our stories and hopefully helping more women prevent this deadly killer from claiming their lives or impacting their families one step at a time. So I always feel very honored when the American Heart Association asks me to share my story, because I just know that I might be helping one more woman live a little bit longer.
And I think that American Heart Association continuously does so much research and does so much funding for things that allow doctors and researchers and everyone to have the information to make sure that those individuals who are those stories of 3-week-old open heart surgery or 7 strokes by the time they turn 6, they allow those to be survivor stories instead of a trauma story.